My name is Tom. I'm in ACA. I'm going to read from Strengthening My Recovery, the Daily Reader. I'm going to read the July 18th submission, and it's on page 207, and the topic is stored trauma. Clinical research strongly suggests that childhood trauma or neglect are stored in the tissue of children. The emotional or physical trauma does not go away without an effort to address the original cause. Big Red Book, page 17. It's in your bones, they might have said. There's something the matter with the whole family. These statements only beg the question that often gets overlooked. Why? Though the trauma of our forefathers and foremothers is stored in us, then so too must be the restorative part of the body. In fact, when we work the steps, reparent ourselves, attend meetings, and join with a fellow traveler, we are using some of the most powerful tools known to restore our bodies back to a balanced, natural condition. This is not easy and often takes a considerable effort and persistence, and may even include an occasional or even frequent ACA relapse. However, there is no easier, softer way. The process of recovery involves real work and determination that pays dividends beyond our expectations. If we are willing to stay on this recovery journey, if we trust the steps and the promises, our body can release the stored trauma, which brings us to true relief. The miracle of recovery is the destination, and we can get there. On this day, I will pay close attention to my body and the clues it gives me about my stored trauma. I reaffirm for myself that by using the steps and reparenting myself, the trauma energy can be released so that I may experience a wholeness I could not have possibly imagined. So that reading is particularly significant for me, I'll say, because I have a lot of physical issues and aches, and my nervous system is I guess these days it's what is normal, but it's out of its baseline that it used to be at 5 years ago. So I hit my rock bottom about 4.5 years ago. It manifested through physical nerve pain throughout my body, so much so that I had to basically stop my life and leave a job that I wasn't quite ready to leave, and basically retire from full-time work. And um, it was one of those things that the Western medical world kind of doesn't know what to do with, and they say learn how to manage it. That's that's all they have. So through that exploration, I found ACA, and through the ACA work, I have come to believe, and now I've found other folks that also can relate to this, is that this is stored trauma, and it's stuff that has been stored in my body for decades. I'm in my 60s now, and the chaos of the environment I grew up in and how unsafe it was, I believe, forced me as a child, and a pre-verbal child, um, to really stuff in my feelings that weren't working for my mom at that time, and live with that. And I did that then for another 50 years before I finally hit rock bottom. And so this stored trauma, and how to process it has been also a over time process. My cognitive mind wants it to, now that I know about it, it wants it to go away well, I want it to go away now, right this minute. And that's not how it works. And so this too is a process, and it's on the body's time. but I believe that it's the right work to do, and it's not a straight line. I make progress, and then I go in dips, and as the reading says, sometimes I backslide with my ACA work, and being able to parent myself without well, with gentleness, humor, love, and respect, which I would love to have had as parents, but I don't have that. And so when my inner family is really raging and wanting, crying out for love and support and safety, sometimes I can get to it right away, and other times I don't. And as they say in the book, the inner teen gets to drive the bus, or the inner child, and those days can be rough, but I know it's all work in progress, and it's one day at a time. And a passage in the big red book, I don't have the exact page numbers, talks about a glacier that is slowly thawing, and it has boulders that are finally being brought to surface after decades of being underneath, and they've scraped long, scars, and there's these wounds that are, have been over time. And I envision that actually in a good way, because it releases those boulders after all that time, and I don't have to carry that around with me anymore. Yes, there's scar tissue. I can't do anything about that. That's part of, I'm powerless over the past. I can't change any of that. What I can do is navigate the now in the best and most healthy way I can. And for me, that means doing the ACA work, and doing what I can each day to support my body and my physical well-being, and to accept what is, and have gratitude for the things that are working, which is ACA. So I will leave it with that, and thanks for listening.